Live from New York, it's the show that's getting right to the news. It's a Power Pack show, and we're locked in. We start with Micah's trade demand. No, I do. I think you'd be like, I'm interested in following his, golfing trajectory. Last week, Micah said point blank, he didn't want to be a Cowboy anymore. Jumped straight to the trade demand. He didn't even delete his Instagram pictures. Just right to the trade demand. Okay, Micah was here today in the outfit that my old soccer coach used to wear to get the sweat out, and he has his jersey on underneath that. Nick, your reaction to the trade demand, because you weren't here Friday, you were playing cards, and Jerry's response.
It's just truth.
I want to talk about Jerry's response first. The entire, if you can call it a press conference, I know it wasn't really press gathering, was kind of surreal, and even by Jerry's standards. Now, I don't always, sometimes we play sound on the show, and I don't watch the entire 12-minute, press because, to be honest, I know Brew's going to do it. Brew's going to do it.
I do.
No, you don't.
I do. Me and Brew watch it together.
Sometimes Wilds is hearing the sound for the first time as we're playing. But live reaction. But Brew has full context. But this one, I wanted to see the full thing because there were some quotes that I had read about where he's like, sometimes it's like when you go to your mom and she says no, and then you go to your dad. And I was like, well, that might be really disrespectful to Micah. But then when I heard it, I was like, wait, I think in this analogy, Micah and his agent are the mom and the dad, and Jerry is the child. It was bizarre. The whole thing was bizarre. But what is very, very clear to me is two things. One of which is Jerry feels like they had an agreement, and he wants to stick to it. And I think that is a unethical way to do business.
Yes.
And I heard what Coach was saying Friday when he said, sometimes you do want to get with the player one-on-one and talk it out, whatever it is.
And I think that's fine.
That's totally fine. What I do not think is right is if a player does not think we are going to be talking about numbers and a contract, and then it comes up and he engages, to then be like, all right, shook on it. You know what I mean? Like you and I said, deal's a deal, because that is not Micah's expertise, and it is, whether it's actually Jerry's expertise or not, it's something he has done for years and years, and he loves doing it. My other big takeaway is this. Jerry wants to be the star of this negotiation.
Yes.
He made that very clear in this. He was like, he said, to paraphrasing, he's like, you're not dealing with the Dallas Cowboys on this deal. You're dealing with me. He's like, on the big ones, you deal with me. And so I think ultimately it gets done. I don't think Micah gets traded. I do think Jerry ends up caving. But I also think, because he once again, Brew, in this press conference, said they weren't as loud for Micah as they were for CD. He keeps poking. Yeah. And he keeps, to me, insulting the guy while being like, I love Micah. And so I think even if it gets done, I think they've damaged the relationship significantly.
Well, as far as the relationship, look, I do think Micah's frustrated. I think he's upset. I think he's bothered by the way Jerry's gone about his business. But when he gets that $200 million plus contract and signs it, I think everything will be good. I mean, he still may talk, with some player. Yeah, Jerry, I ain't like the way he did that. What was he? He was tripping, whatever.
$200 million.
But I mean, overall, it's going to be fine.
A lot of stuff over.
Remember, we saw with Lamar when
Lamar
they looked at other teams. Yeah, so and everything is smoothed over. Obviously, it's lovey-dovey there now.
But they never said, real quick, they never said bad things about it.
No, it wasn't like this. It was not this bad. It was not this bad. Yeah. But I just think that, remember when Dak said a year ago, you don't really pay attention to what Jerry said. I mean, that's kind of, you could take that to be a real insult. Sure. So I just think it'll be fine. I agree with you. You probably saw me say it Friday. I think it's underhanded to negotiate with a player. Now, do I think they sat down and really talked hard tacks about the contract? No. But I think if Jerry, in the course of some conversation, and Jerry's like, how's $40 million a year sound? And Mike is like, sound good to me. Something like that. And Jerry's thinking they got a deal. Jerry would probably tell you that nothing is a deal until it's signed. And so why is he expecting different from Micah? And I don't know what, agents sometimes have problems with teams. I don't know if Jerry has an issue with his agent or what, but he's one of the most powerful agents in the NFL.
Yep.
So I don't get that. But at the end of the day, as I just said about the $200 million contract, this will get done. I do not think Micah's going to be traded. There's not a fiber in my being that thinks he's going to be traded. I do think, like I said, I think he's serious. I think there's a part of him that's sick of it and sure, is ready. It would move on if it comes to that. I don't think he's like, I don't want to play for this team at all. Otherwise, why would you be there? Even if it was costing you $50,000 a day. If I was really serious, as like Diana Rossini reported, he's severing ties with the organization. If you're severing ties, I'm out of there. I'm not at practice. I get it. It's costing me some money, but I'm done with you guys.
No, but hold on. But real quick, that he would have had to make that decision before training camp began. Because if he were to do that now, it's not $50,000 a day. Remember? So once you report, if you leave, it's no longer you lose $50,000 a day. It's that you have 5 days to come back, and then you're on ice for the year. Like it's the NFL's version of
Do you have to go out on the practice field?
No.
I mean, I would do
because do a more aggressive holding is what you're saying.
And I'm fine
Show
with
up,
it.
walk outside, and sit down.
Yeah, something like you stay in the inside. I don't know,
just
but
in your car.
Yeah, this just doesn't look like
you're going to the mattresses.
Yeah. Other quote I get your reaction from. It seems like we forget that it's been less than a year, and I've paid the highest that's been paid in the NFL to Dak, and I paid a big price for CeeDee Lamb. He was second to Justin Jefferson. Anybody that says I'm not interested in financially rewarding my players hasn't been looking at the tea leaves. So do you expect him to be number one over everybody?
Yeah, no, I do. I don't know that it's going to be 45, but I think it's going to be number one. But there's something else Jerry kept saying that I take major issue with, which is he kept saying Micah's already under contract.
Yeah.
He is a player under contract. And I feel incredibly differently about players during their second contract negotiating for a third, so a la Trey Hendrickson or the Chris Jones deal, whatever it was. There you go, got Trey Hendrickson in the show. Versus a rookie extension. Because the contract Micah is currently under, he was not able to negotiate. He was not able to barter on, and he has played out the entirety of his 4-year rookie contract. If he were a second-round pick, not a first-round pick, he'd be a free agent right now or a franchise tag. There's a 5th-year option, which, again, he has no say in, which was put in place for 2 reasons. One is to give teams primarily a little more...
An advantage.
Yes, an advantage, but the real reason for it was for borderline guys. Homegrown guys who've shown flashes, but you don't.
Late, maybe.
Yeah, some pop late or dealt with an injury. Guys where there's a question mark that you get to keep them. It was 5th-year option was not put in place so instant superstars could be held hostage by the team under market, which is why you're seeing every other star from his draft class has gotten paid already. And so, if I understand the frustration from a team, if a guy negotiates for a second contract at $20 million a year and 2 years in is like, damn, should have gotten 25, I want more. That's not this. Micah did not negotiate the deal he's on right now. It's rookie contract, it's slotted, there's nothing he could do about it. And he deserves to be paid.
I agree. He certainly deserves to be paid. I agree with you. And we see teams break contracts when they're not guaranteed all the time. That said, this is where Jerry and the Cowboys and the owners in general have all the leverage. Because he theoretically could let Micah sit on this contract and play. Maybe Micah would fake an injury and not whatever, but play out this contract and then franchise him for a year or 2.
And the franchise
so they do have all the leverage.
We're talking about Micah making $40 million a year. He's making $24 this year, and the franchise tag next year would not be much more than that. So it would be, like you said.
It would be punitive.
It would be very punitive compared to where the actual top of the market is.
CD signed late August 26th. Dak signed September 8th. The idea that we're going to go a few weeks and miss training camp that is valuable, even if you're in the meetings. If he comes out rusty against the Eagles, it's going to be
And more importantly than comes out rusty. Oh, sorry.
No, that's it. It's like, why wasn't he a factor against Jalen Hurts? Yep. Well, because Jalen Hurts is awesome, one. And two, it's because you didn't get the deal done, so he's been just hanging out on the sideline.
And totally rusty is not the biggest concern. The biggest concern is a soft tissue injury.
Oh.
For guys who, you know,
there's
a lot of hamstrings and calves and stuff.
Cincinnati,
for guys, that's two Trey Hendrickson.
Don't worry, we got Trey Hendrickson covered. Trey Hendrickson's mom was like, "Are they going to talk about Trey?" Yes. No contract yet for Micah, but new contract for Luka. He signs his 3-year, $165 million extension. Look at the neck, looks slim, looking great. Your reaction?
Fantastic.
So I was. When the season ended, I said on this show that I think Luka's 95% to sign an extension with the Lakers this summer. Mm-hmm. Once they let Dorian Finney-Smith walk, I said, I don't think it was on this show, I think I said it on my podcast, I was like, I'd still bet it, but I'm down to 75, 80%. Wow. I thought that there was a chance that Luka might say, let's just see how, you know what I mean? Let's just see how this plays out. You didn't feel that way, Brew.
No.
You never thought there was any chance he wasn't signing the extension. So this probably felt like bigger news for me than for you because you felt it was a fait accompli and I thought it was very likely but not definitive. What it does mean, though, for the Lakers, but no matter what, the Lakers were going to have Luka next year. Mm-hmm. That would be whether he signed or not. But it now means they are fully set for the next 3 seasons because he's locked in for 3 years and then he can sign the first ever $1 million a game contract in the NBA. And it's actually, it will be a 4-year with an average of $83 million a year. 4 years, $417 million. And so that gives them a runway with a guy who I believe each of the next 3 years will be a consensus top 5 player and at any given year could be the favorite for league MVP as he has been many times even though he's never won one.
Oh, yeah. I'm with you. I did look, they're the Lakers. Like when he was traded there, I get it, he was upset. And he isn't from America, but he has followed basketball. Huh? He does know the Lakers. They had Kobe Bryant when he was growing up watching basketball, so he knows how great the Lakers are. I get he was upset when he was traded. He had to adjust. It's a much bigger city. It's a different type city than Dallas, so I get all that. But there was no doubt in my mind. Like you don't. I know Dwight Howard did it, but Dwight did, you don't walk away from the Lakers. Like, this is a perfect situation for him. I don't know what more you would want, unless it was just something where he's not from America, he doesn't like a huge city, maybe something like that, but I didn't feel like that was an issue. No. So, yeah, this is not surprising. Nick, I love the fact that he said, I think we have enough to win it all.
I knew you were going to like
Right. Now, whether they do or not, I do think they're in that top tier. I think OKC, Houston, Denver, Minnesota, the Lakers. And I put them right in that group. Whether you think they have enough or not, if you're Luka Doncic and you say, and I think you're being even like top 5 the next 3, he should be, if he's in shape, then you feel like he's top 3
I feel like
4.
at this point, I think we have
Shea,
to say 4 because Shea's there.
Right,
Shea,
okay.
Giannis, Joker, Luka should be the 4 best players in the league.
Yes,
with Wemby maybe
Luka does more than Ant's better defender. But if Luka Doncic has LeBron James playing at an all-NBA level, and of course that has to happen with LeBron's age, you've got a center who for all his issues is still 16 points and 10 rebounds a game for his career. All right? You don't just sleepwalk into 16 and 10.
No, but you do sometimes despite 16 and 10, teams can't wait to get rid of you.
That's fine, but I think look, Luka helped recruit DeAndre. Yeah. He's going to be good. He's going to be on the end of a lot of those lobs from Luka. Then you've got another 20-point scorer in Austin Reeves. Now, he recruited Marcus Smart. We'll see what Marcus Smart can do at this stage of his career. But if he's healthy, I think he can contribute. Rui Hachimura, who's become like a really good three-point shooter. I think he's going to shoot more threes going forward. He's been 41% like last 2 years from 3. So I think they've got a nice squad, and if Luka didn't feel like they had enough or even say it, then I would be like, are you all I think you are? I don't like, right? He should believe that.
So you said the other day when we were talking about LeBron, that you feel LeBron used to feel like, I can do it with anybody.
When he had Delonte West and Mo Williams and those guys, and he was like, man, we got a squad. Like, he really believed they could win the championship, which I love. That's what I want.
So that's and when we were talking about LeBron, you said he went from that mentality to, I need to have the perfect team around me. And this is a forgiving way to look at it, but it's how I looked at it. My response is, if you're right, well, yeah, because what LeBron at 25 could do, LeBron at 40 can't. At 40, he does need the better team. I bring that up in this context. If you are in your absolute prime, which Luka is, and you are, in discussion for, is that the best player in the league or second best player in the league? Then every single year you should feel like we can win.
When you have, and again, they don't have the best roster in the league, but
you should feel like we are at least in, and by the way, to me, the proof of concept, in order for that to be true, you don't need the best a better than ever Luka Doncic. You just need 2024 Luka Doncic. You know what I mean? The Luka
see, here's the thing, and I hear that to some degree. I'm expecting
a better than ever.
Yeah. I'm expecting Luka. Now, I don't know what his numbers will be.
It's going to be hard to be better than he was his last full year in Dallas.
But think about him. More athletic. Defense, of course, but more athletic. He's smarter now. As good as he's been, he's smarter now. He's more experienced now. He's playing with the smart player in LeBron. Clearly, people got mad when I said LeBron deserves some credit for Luka's offseason.
If he could touch the rim now.
Okay. But seriously. And you talked about you don't like skinny Luka because you think he'll lose some strength. He's lifting weights for the first offseason. Like, he's not going to lose strength. He might be slimmer. Man, I'm expecting Luka to ball. He might be my MVP.
Reporting that LeBron FaceTimed Luka to congratulate him on the extension, which is nice. But we saw a few photos, this video of all of his Lakers teammates here. LeBron is not in this photo.
Go ahead.
Or this video. There's DeAndre Ayton, 16 and 5.
16 and 10.
16 and 10. I'm sorry.
No wonder you didn't.
And then Luka and his friends, the Lakers, went to see the Backstreet Boys at the Sphere. LeBron also went to this, did not go to this, understandably so.
Can I tell you something? Not by the Lakers. I was invited to this very show, but as you mentioned,
you were invited to the Backstreet Boys?
No, not. That's what I'm saying. Not by. And some of my buddies who live in Vegas say it's the greatest concert they've ever been to in their lives.
Wow.
Is the Backstreet Boys at the Sphere for whatever it's worth. But like you said, the same reason I couldn't be on the show Friday, I couldn't go to the concert because I was playing cards. So I had
that would count it as research. Something or nothing. LeBron was golfing.
I think it's no big deal. Listen, Austin Reeves wasn't there either.
Right.
You know what I mean? For the record, listen. I think there is an element of twofold as far as LeBron showing up to these things. It is very difficult for LeBron, especially when there's a little bit of, not controversy surrounding him, but, questions that people would want to ask Pelinka or LeBron about LeBron's future with the team. It's very hard for him to show up and not be the story. And you know what I mean? He was, and also I think LeBron getting in all white and going to the Sphere for the Backstreet Boys probably not really his style either.
But if it's a great concert.
And so I think if he had not reached out to Luka, I think it would be something. Because they are clearly friendly. I assume they're friendly.
Like he didn't reach out to DeAndre.
He didn't have to go on LeBron's podcast.
Correct. Like everything's all. So if he had been radio silence on this, I think that would be something. But I don't think it's a big deal. He didn't show up to the press conference.
I think it's nothing. And look, I get that Rich Paul's statement after LeBron signed the extension could lead to some questions, which it did. But I think this whole summer has been overblown with LeBron. Like, I never thought he was going anywhere. I think he'd be open to the right trade, but I don't think he's like, man, I got to get out of here. I think all of that has been overblown. And I think LeBron's in a terrific situation where they have a chance to win.
So why did all the other Lakers go to
Well, Austin Reeves didn't go.
Okay,
And
but how about
how many
everybody
Lakers
else?
did we see? 6?
I mean,
other than Luka?
I mean, I would say that here's the thing.
That's not even half the team.
I think it's.
I mean,
it's the two. It's
I
the
feel
two
like you got to
guys
do
who
everything or nobody.
No.
Everybody's got to come
So
or
I look at
nobody.
it
But that's
differently.
not half the
There's
team.
a lot of
Well,
Lakers
Hold
there.
on, hold on. Can I just tell you, it's the two guys he recruited,
Right.
the other
Yeah.
offseason additions, his buddy from Dallas,
Laravia.
Maxi Kleba, and then guys who are trying.
not Laravia.
Like, if I'm being honest, there's an element of brownie points is the wrong word, but there's the best players on the team are Luka, who needed to be there, Bron and Austin Reeves. I'm trying to see.
Is Rui there?
I don't think Rui was there. Like
I think Rui went to the Sphere.
Okay, so maybe he's a big fan of Backstreet Boys, but he's
It's
not
just-
there. I mean, I think that there is an obligation-ish if you're Jake LaRavia. Like, Rob called, he said I can come to the press conference, I probably should. And I think if you're Bron, you're like, I'd rather golf with my son.
But beyond that,
Nothing.
you're absolutely right that if LeBron goes, he becomes at least half of the story.
They have to answer questions about him. Okay.
It's not nothing.
Okay.
It is totally. So what's going to come? What does it mean?
I don't know what it means. I'm just saying.
Does it mean
didn't
they're
register
at odds?
It was nothing that I didn't go. It's something that LeBron didn't go.
Here's the one thing people could legitimately point to. A guy that has been the number one player his entire life on his team, all of a sudden becoming number two, even if you have good intentions, that could be tough. But here's the problem. He as soon as Luka showed up last season, LeBron was like, they didn't necessarily verbalize it, but he willingly deferred to Luka and was the number
Feels
two
like
guy.
LeBron's on Luka's team. That's what
That
it
is-
feels like.
Yes.
He is.
Yes.
Okay.
But that was the case last year.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.